Hello guys and welcome again to this edition of Learning with Rich. Okay, in this topic, I'm going to teach you how to move a central file to a new location. Okay? So to those of you who is just new in Revit, when you say central file, that is actually the master project file that you create when you enable work sharing. Okay? So enabling work sharing involves creating a master project model known as the central model from an existing model. Okay? So the reason why we are enabling the work sharing, it is actually a design method that allows multiple team members to work on the same project model at the same time. Okay? So on many projects, team members are assigned a specific functional area to work on. So let's say for example, one team member is doing the interior, the other team member is doing the exterior, the other team member is doing the electrical, the plumbing, the structural, and other discipline. Okay, so for you to be able to work simultaneously on one project, so you enable work sharing. So when you enable the work sharing, what happens is it will create a master project model that is known as the central model. Now, there are some instances wherein you need to move your central file. Okay? So, why do you need to move it? Let's say, for example, you need to upgrade your server or you need to move your central file to a new location and you want to upgrade, let's say, for example, the hard drive. Okay? Because let's say you are running out of memory on your hard drive. So, those are just some example that the reason why you want to move your central file. Okay, so number one, you want to install a new hard drive in your server, or let's say you've run out of space in one location and you need to move it to another, or let's say you've got a consultant file and you need to change locations for it. Okay, there's actually a variety of reasons why you might need to do this, but the first thing is to just make sure that everybody's out of the project. So let's say the project already enabled the central file. So the B manager will tell the users to stop working on the project at the moment because you need to move your central file to a new location. Now to do this, so the first thing that you need to do, so you need to do not open directly the file on your recent files window. So it is not advisable to open, okay? So you need to use the open option. So open, and then after that, I created here a folder for our exercise. So I just created the new two folders here just to simulate how to change the location of the central file or how to move it. Okay, so I just created two folder. So I have here old server wherein the original central file is located, and then the other one, let's say this is the new server where I want to place the central file. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to open the old server. So let's say all of your users are already done with the project because you already told them to stop it. Okay, so what you need to do is you need to select the central file. This is the central file, and then after that, before you open, so you need to uncheck this one. Okay, you need to uncheck this one, otherwise it will just create a local file. So that's why you need to uncheck that. And then from here, there's this detach from central, so you need to check that. Okay, this file that you want to open, you want to detach it from here. So that's the reason why you are checking this one. And then after that, if you want to audit it, you can also audit it if you want. But for this exercise, no need. So I'm just going to make sure that detach from central is checked. And then I'm going to select here open. And then there's a dialog box here that asks you if you want to detach and preserve the work sets or if you want to detach and discard the work sets. Now, of course, let's say, oh, I do not want to uh, discard the work set. I just want to detach this file from the central, but I want to preserve the work set because we're still working on the project. So I'm going to select this option, okay? And then it will now start to create a new file that is not connected to the central file. So as you can see, it says here detach. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is I want to save now this file to the new central file. So the next thing that I'm going to do, I'm going to select the save here. Okay, and then I'm not going to save it here. So I'm going to go to the new server. I'm gonna open this one, and then after that, just change the name here. So let's say, for example, I'm going to change this new. Okay, right. Okay, so I just select new, and then you may want to check the options here, and then you will notice if you detach the model from the central and preserve the work set, automatically this file that you are trying to save will going to become your new central model, which is what we need. So automatically this is already grayed out. So once I save this one, it will becomes a new central model. All right. So let's say for the backup, so let's say make 5. Okay, and then I'll just select OK. So I save it on the new server, and then after that, I am now going to save it. Okay. All right. So now it's already saved to the new server or new location. That is now our central file. So that's all you have to do to ensure that if you ever have to relocate a central file, that it's done properly and carefully. So again, just to summarize, make sure you open it detached, then immediately do a save as and move it to the location where you want it to go. Choose the folder and then the location, give it a good name, double check your settings under the options, and then when you save it, it will now be a new central file. So the next thing that you need to do, you need to relinquish all the work sets. So as you can see, this is enabled. So I want to relinquish the ownership of this so that the other team members will be able to use this work set that I have created. Because if I'm not going to check this one, I will be the one or I will be the owner of that particular work set and they will not be able to use it properly. So that's why make sure you relinquish all your work sets. You okay. And then after that, you close the file and then you tell your uh, B modelers or your team members that they can now start to create again a new local file using the central file from a new location. Okay, so all your users can join back in and begin making local copies. Okay, all right. So let's say, for example, I am the BIM modeler. So what I'm going to do, I was told by my BIM manager that is already relocated to this new server or to this new folder. So as a BIM modeler, so I open, and then this is the new server. This is actually the new central file. So I'm gonna select this one, and then I'm gonna make sure that create new local is checked because I am now talking on the side of designer or the BIM modeler. So I do not want to open the central file directly. That's why I'm going to create a new local file. All right. This is our new central file. It is not a good practice to open the central file, but you need to create a new local file to continue now your designing or modeling. So make sure you check this one and then you open. So at this point, nobody's original local copies are any good anymore. So you can delete the old one. So it's really important that they all create new local file, just like what I did just now. The first time they access this central file in its new location. Okay. So after you successfully created a new local file, you will notice aside from the name of the central file, you will see the username of your machine, right? Okay, so there you go. So that's how you move your central file to a new location. It's very simple one. It's very basic one. So hopefully you understand it. So if you have any questions, comments, or suggestions, you can put it on the comment section below, and I'll get back to you once as soon as I can. All right. So once again, thank you and bye bye.